Hey everybody, and this video is to Nancy Grace. Hey Nancy, my name is Rob. I'm a wrestling fanatic. Been a wrestling fanatic since I was 5. I'm 26 right now. So you can probably say for the last 21 years I've been watching on and off wrestling. I recently came across a article on a couple of dirt sheets saying that you have told people that Owen Hart died from steroid use and drug use, which is not the case. I want you to read a couple of books on Owen Hart, and I want you to read a bunch of books on steroid effects. And now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other people who died from other things than just steroids. You're talking about people who died from illegal drugs such as cocaine and ecstasy and all these other things. You also have guys that have died from injuries within the ring. You also have, you don't talk about bodybuilders that much, but some of them use steroids, some of them don't. But you're looking at it from the standpoint that everything's illegal that you don't agree with. It's illegal. And I have a problem with that. See, Nancy, you came on your show last night on April 9th, 2014, and you pretty much buried a whole bunch of wrestlers who didn't die from steroid use. And for your opinion, I'll tell you people who have died from steroid use. There are a few in that list that died from that, but they weren't really. It wasn't from steroid use. It might have been from a large heart. But then again, you don't understand bodybuilding because you're a fat piece of shit. So I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you. Enlarged hearts happen when you are an athlete, or if you take up bodybuilding, or take up any type of exercise ever. You take the top 5 bodybuilders in the world, they'll have enlarged hearts. You take the top 5 wrestlers in the world, including those that are vegans or vegetarians, they're going to have enlarged hearts due to the fact of how much they consume and how much they exercise, how much they do things. That's not just from steroid use, it's from natural means too. But you go out there and you're sitting, well, these guys, all these guys in this list are steroid users. That's a lie. It's a total lie. Sherry Martel didn't use steroids. She didn't die from that. She died from heart failure. Or kidney failure. I can't remember what it was. But she died in a non-compete state. In a non-competitive state. A lot of those guys have died either in a non-competitive state. Warrior died out of a non-competitive state. The reason why Warrior probably might have taken steroids at the time that he died was because he's 54. 54 years old. And if you don't understand medical science, particularly around from the age of puberty to the age of 30, you know that men are in their sexual prime. They start to lose that edge around the age of 30, 35, around that time. They start losing that edge. They start losing their testosterone buildup. So by the age of 40, they'll be having low T-scores, which would cause them to have things like weight gain, not enough muscle mass, not enough this, not enough that. A lot of the stuff that makes men attractive or whatever to women. I don't know what makes women or what makes men attractive to women. I don't understand it, but you kind of get what I'm saying. The reason why Warrior might have taken the steroids to begin with is to keep his body in shape, to keep him from suffering a low T score. You know, the problems with low testosterone in men is that it causes weight gain, causes heart failure, causes high blood pressure, it causes, hair loss. I haven't lost my hair yet, I just cut it. It causes a lot of really adverse effects in men. And some of the things, like say that you have a history in your family that say that you have a whole bunch of males in your family that they're like, they're not jacked up, they're just built really well. And then all of a sudden they start gaining weight at the age of 30 to 35. And by the time they hit their 40s, they're like a little bit out of shape. Probably like 50 pounds overweight or 60 pounds overweight because their body cannot take it anymore. They cannot stress it anymore. What also low testosterone, what the other thing that low testosterone does is that it causes heart problems in men, especially. It's like how estrogen levels, when they drop in women and they start gaining testosterone in their bodies, that can also cause issues with the reproductive system as well as their heart and other things. With a low hormone count, you can die much easier than anything. Your body takes in more stress. Your body cannot recover as fast. Like, I'm 26, so take it from my experience. Since I was 15, never been injured that often. Never been injured since I was 15. I've had recoveries, like really speedy recoveries, just naturally, and it's pretty amazing. What people don't understand is that, I'm going to tell you the truth, I took steroids. And the steroids I took were corticosteroids for my skin, because I had a skin rash. And I had the ingestible kind. I did have the kind that you can rub on the skin to make it heal faster, but I didn't use it for my own purposes because I felt like I was doing something stupid. The thing is that you cannot sit there and tell people and lie to people about steroid usage. Or better yet, you cannot lie to people because you're so misinformed that you think everything's about steroids. Oh, wrestler died. That's steroids. If the guy died at 74, it's not about steroids. I'll tell you something. If Schwarzenegger died, it wasn't from steroids. If he died, he would probably die from a large heart. Or he might die from a liver failure or something. But if you take care of your body like you're supposed to, you won't have that effect. And to tell you the truth, I'm going to probably give you this little tidbit of information. The majority of the wrestlers who have died young died from painkillers, died from muscle relaxers. There are stories and shoot interviews with Kevin Nash and all these other wrestlers who would take 30 somas just to fall asleep because their bodies are in so much pain. There have been many points in wrestling where we have stopped steroid usage and we stopped drug usage because it affected the sport. Even though it's predetermined, it's still a sport, nonetheless. When you take drugs of any kind, other than just steroids, say that you take, somas and painkillers and all that stuff, what you're basically doing, you're putting your person's life on the line, pretty much. It's not just yourself, but your opponent. Wrestlers know this. Everyone knows this. And not all the wrestlers died from steroids. A lot of them just died from natural causes. Other people died from heart attack. But, like I said, I'm going to tell you this right now. Warrior was going to be an ambassador for the company. A non-competitive ambassador. Meaning that he would talk to people about the WWE. If they're coming to Arizona, he would be the one that they would talk to on a radio show. He would be paid to make appearances at wrestling events, including some by the WWE and some not by the WWE. Not to mention, we're also talking about a guy who had philosophies that are inspiring. And it isn't, the average wrestling hodgepodge type of, you suck and I'm going to beat you up and you cost me my match, cost my championship, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about storyline stuff. I'm talking about, outside the ring. Wrestlers are not bad people. Bodybuilders are not bad people. People who use steroids are not bad people. You can go ahead and try to paint the picture as ugly as you can. But when you start looking at it, and you start understanding the reasons behind it, why you keep on doing it, it's because it's supposed to... You're basically masturbating your fantasies. And you're masturbating the nightmares that you want to create for other people. Yeah, don't be a wrestler because you'll be taking steroids. Or don't be this guy or else you'll be doing this and that's evil. How about this? How would we not be like you, a fat pile of crap who spews a bunch of lies and conspiracy theories on people who have died? Or people who were murdered. And you sit there and just point blames and point fingers at people saying that you did this, you. Yeah, you. That guy right there, the man on that photo, yeah, he did it. That's what you're basically telling people. Instead of facing the facts of what it's supposed to be. The problem with you, Nancy Grace, is that you sit there and you make these stupid accusations. And for that, I must say, shame on you. I would never make an accusation without merit. And I wouldn't sit there and trash someone's life if they lived a good one. I can give a shit less about crackheads. I can give a shit less about people who murdered other people. My thing is, I'm more passionate about people who made a difference in their lives, made a difference in other people's lives, affected them greatly. If it wasn't for the Ultimate Warrior, one of my childhood heroes, a person I looked up to when I was watching TV in Scotland, all the way into his career in 1998, that guy has done so much for me as a fan, as a child, to the point when I went to go look him up, even though I watched the really bad burial of his career, but when I looked up his speeches on YouTube, his injections of inspiration, I felt inspired to go back to the gym, to take it one step further. But I started learning about other people, other philosophies, other bodybuilders, and I know exactly what I wanted to do. So don't you ever discredit somebody because they died, because they might have taken steroids. And I'm pretty sure you've probably taken steroids, but you never even knew it. I'm pretty sure you never even knew it. You have any, did you have asthma? Did you take Advair? It's a steroid. Do you take any type of thing for your estrogen levels dropping? That's a steroid too. But everyone wants to say, well, that's not steroids. That's medicine. Well, no fucking shit. Steroids are medicine. They're protected medicine. People who abuse them, people who abuse the prescriptions of them, people who send out prescriptions that may become abusive, that right there is illegal. People who deal steroids on the side just because they make a lot of money from that, that's illegal. You got more kids out there that are taking more steroids, and yet you don't fucking shit on them. You don't even shit on them. give a shit less about them. You might have a son in high school or in college who's taking steroids just so he can fulfill that destiny of actually becoming a part of the NBA or the NFL or the NHL or the boxing associations in this country or whatever, to be top of his sport. Or you might have a son that's out there taking a breathing medication because he can't breathe on his own without this substance in his body. You gotta think of the facts of what you're trying to say here. And be educated about what you're about to say. Because when you slip up and you make mistakes and put people like Owen Hart on a list of wrestlers who have died from steroid use, that is a shame. And I'm going to tell you one more thing about Owen Hart. He didn't die from steroid usage. He died because of a failed stunt that caused him to fall on a turnbuckle, which is basically a corner of the ring, pretty much the steel post of the ring. It's called a turnbuckle. He hit that chest first and ruptured his aortic valve and died from internal bleeding of the heart. That is all. So, if you feel like responding back to me or putting me on your website or your Facebook page or any other thing ever, don't be hesitant to give me a call. I'll be right on my phone. I'll be waiting to school you on things that you need to understand. And by the way, if he was using steroids, he wasn't using it and abusing it by using too much. He probably used very little. Anywho, my name is Rob. Peace out.